Hello, guys. Hello, hello.
Hello?
Hi, everybody. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. So there is Joy, there is Dave, there is Saumil, there is Rishu, and there is Sweetselle, Karen. So welcome everybody. Sorry for the delay. I got some technical problems there, technical difficulties. I don't know why my computer did not work right away. Okay, so Dave, I just want to thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you for hosting lots of speaking practice also. That's really brilliant.
Well, thanks for the opportunity. I'm loving it, to be honest. I mean, people are very quiet and generous.
Yeah?
Well, I'm grateful. I mean, this is what I'm trying to say. People are quite generous and they are keen to learn. I mean, this is what I can say. So it's a pleasure.
That's nice. That's nice that you have that kind of feeling for, for those who want to join. It's really good. Okay, so now I'm gonna pair Joy and Dave. Is that okay, guys? Or Dave, do you wanna just help me with them, like giving feedback?
Well, yeah, I'm more than happy. I mean, if I can do something, I'm more than happy.
Okay, sure. All right, so I'll just make you stay there and help me give feedback, or we can maybe take turns, or I'll just let you. So I'm gonna pair Joy and Saumil. Would that be okay, guys?
Rita? Hi, Rita.
Hi.
Yeah, this is my first time to join this class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what rules and how to practice.
All right, you just observe for now, and I'll just change to Sweetselle or Rishu and Saumil. And Joy, if you have some materials like speaking part 1, part 2, part 3 questions, you can get them ready, because when it's your turn, it's gonna be like pairing of examiner and the examinee, or the candidate. So one is asking question and one is answering, and then they're gonna switch.
I don't have a question.
Oh, okay. All right, so just let's start with Saumil and Rishu first. You guys are ready?
Yes, hello?
Hello, Saumil, how are you?
I'm fine, ma'am. I want to tell you something.
Yes, I'm sorry?
I say I want to tell you something.
Oh, sure.
Hello?
Sure, yeah, tell us.
Yes, to be honest, I would like to thanks to you, first of all, because in the past attempt, I had made lots of effort, and just because of your efforts, I had get enough score. But just because of some unavoidable issues, somehow I got only 6.5 in my listening. I got 7 in speaking.
Oh, that's really good.
But
Congratulations.
just because of this listening module, just because of this one module, I have to appear again. And just for these reasons, I have to do it in all the things.
Oh, yeah, that's sad, eh? But I'm so happy with your result for speaking. That's really nice. It's great.
Yes, thank you so much for this.
Okay, so do you wanna start, or just let me know? Rishu maybe is ready.
Yes, I'm ready. Saumil, should I ask a question to you?
Sure.
Which part you want to answer, Saumil?
part 2.
Okay. So your question is, for part 2, describe an important piece of news that you have received by text message.
Okay.
And the pointers are who shared the message with you, what the news was about, how was it written, and explain why the news was important. Should I repeat it again, Saumil?
No, it's okay.
I'm just repeating the headline. Describe an important piece of news that you have received by text message. I'm putting up your timer. Let's start. Saumil, you can start.
Here I would like to talk about the time when I had received important message which had changed my career totally. Actually, before a few years back, when I had completed my graduation, so just because of this lots of time spending on this my education, I had decided to enjoy the vacation with my family members at some hill station. So on the next day, we had just went to one of the famous hill stations in my country. When we reached there, just after second day, just after completion of our journey, I had got a simple text message in my mobile phone. So for the beginning, I was not able to recognize it that whether it is correct or it means that whether it is genuine or not. But just after a few seconds, when I had I had made confirm that yes, it is from my university, and the message contains of my result that I had got the first class and I had completed my graduation with the first class degree. So when I received this message, I just felt over the moon, and on the next minute, I just went to my parents and told him about this information. And so for a few moments, they were also get lots of surprise because they had never accepted this result from me. In the evening, they were just asking me. They were just asking me for the party, and we went there to one of the famous restaurants to celebrate this moment. Even though at that time I didn't have enough money to pay it, but as it was the best moment of my life, so I had decided to pay it, and we had celebrated this moment. So I believe that.
Sorry, I'm interrupting. Your time is more than 2 minutes actually.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Dave?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, do you wanna give feedback to Saumil?
Well, Saumil was good, and I would like to say, day before yesterday, someone was asking me the cue card, and it's very important to speak whatever the question is. I mean, he was up to the mark, but I think it's very good to organize the answer. Like if there are few points in cue card, and if you don't answer them in within 2 minutes, so it's going to be great problem, I guess. So I think time management is very important. But Saumil was good. He was using some like over the moon and all these idioms, which was quite good. So I like the answer.
Okay, so that's good. So Mel, do you
I
have?
just want
Yeah.
I just want to add one thing to Dave. Dave, sometimes I think it's quite impossible just to cater all these parts. Like when the time we digress the topic. So is it possible that you can answer all three parts?
Okay, can I add this one thing?
Yeah.
In my opinion, all of these 3 or 4 bullet points are just given to us for our information in order to generate story. It is not mandatory to use all of these 3 bullet points. It is okay that if you are using only 2 or 3 bullet points, then just keep on.
Well, I would like to say something over here. Let's say if it is writing, if it is writing, let's say there are, the same story. They'll ask you a topic, and after that there are few points. And, if you want address in writing, there are guidelines. If you will have a look on British counseling website, so they penalize, to be honest. So that's what I'm thinking. It's right in writing. If you want to mention any one of these points, you will be penalized. That's what you can say. But this is what I'm trying to understand. If it is for speaking as well, I think it is better if you can answer all these questions. What do you think about it, Rita?
Oh, yeah, I agree that it's better to answer those questions, but also I agree with Saumil that it's not mandatory. That's right, because in my course, that's what my mentor is always saying, that you can choose which one is comfortable for you to talk about. That you have a lot of things to say about, as long as it is the describe this thing, as long as you don't go off topic. It doesn't have to be the bullet points, but like you said, Dave, it's good if we can answer those. What I do when I do my practice, I answer those bullet points first, and then I'm done for like less than a minute, and then go back. Then I would give all those things that are easy for me to talk about. So when I answer the bullet points, I just answer when. Most of the time the bullet points when, who, what. So I just answer the when, the date, let's say last year or the other day, and then what, and then I give the name, how you feel, and then I say I'm happy, I was happy, or something like that, and then I'll go back to the things that, let's say, I describe. Normally I describe physical features of the thing, either it's even either an object or a person. So I do that, but I'll try to answer those bullet points first, and then it's very fast, not even like a minute. A minute, and then I can go to the things that I'm comfortable with talking about, the thing or the object or the person or event or whatsoever. So that's how I do. This is just a suggestion, but it's not mandatory. But they've said it's good if you will answer those bullet points. I agree with that, because that's what I always do too when I have practice or whatsoever. So
Okay, so Rishu, it's your turn. So tell me what you want. Part 2, part 3, part 1, which one?
Part 3, Saumil.
Okay, so the first question is: do most people in your country live in an apartment or house?
It actually depends upon the location in which they are living. If I talk about the metro cities, just because of the space crunch and the non-availability of space, people prefer to live in apartments or in flats. And if we are living in a tier down cities, they have a lot of spaces, they have row houses. People generally opt to have that bungalow kind of a thing, or a house, a bigger house where they can live freely. They have that space, they have their garden and everything.
Okay. Do young people in your country like to live with the parents or by themselves?
If you see nowadays trend, people generally move out of their parent houses because of their jobs, and it's not mandatory that it's an obligation that they have to live with their parents. Parents are quite open nowadays. They even allow their children to go and stay away because they want their children to be independent and gain their experience by their own. And I believe this is actually good if a child is if a child is get married and he has his own family, so they should preferably gain that experience of living alone and have their own family, going through all the phases of life. So it depends actually.
Okay. How is modern home design in your country different to that of the past?
The architecture, if I talk about, it's entirely changed nowadays, because nowadays people are living in a very small houses, and they are used to of having a big furniture which can easily be moldable. That is like easy going furniture everybody wants to have. And earlier people have that big houses, they have their own spaces, they can put whatever they want to have. And people, I believe that it's changed with the time. And sorry, I missed that question actually. Can you just say it again for me?
Question?
Yeah, I missed that question actually.
How is modern home design in your country different to that of the past?
Okay, so modern home design has changed just because
home design, it means we can speak about the architecture, we can speak about the design, we can speak about modern equipments, such as dishwasher, washing machine, and that.
Okay. So nowadays, just because of the availability of things at our ease, so I believe architecture and designs are totally changed from the past. Earlier, we don't have that kind of feasibility of having that technology or kind of a usable stuff that we can go and purchase. And we are now in a world where actually everyone in a hurry, and they have their own jobs and business where they are actually busy. So they want to prefer have things which are quite easy to go. Just like if you take an example, earlier people used to have their own things where they can make and they can just I'm so sorry, Rita and Saumil, I'm just messed up the things.
No problem. It's practice, Rishu, don't worry.
Actually, I don't know why I'm just I'm digressing something and I'm just missed out the topic. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, it happens to all of us. Okay, so yeah, go ahead.
3 questions or 4 questions? How much?
Huh? What was that?
We have to ask. We have to ask 3 questions or 4 questions.
How that was the third question, right?
Yes.
Yes, that was the third question.
Okay, one more question for Rishu, and then we will move on to the next.
Okay, similar question but different answer. How are modern homes different to older homes?
Modern homes are quite different from older homes. A reason being is because in modern homes we have that kind of because we are now living in a world where we are looking for things that we can easily use. Like just an example, earlier days we don't have that air conditioner or a refrigerator in our home. Or just take an example of dishwasher. People used to do their stuff by their own because they feel like that, because they have that time. But just because of that time schedule and the jobs and the working condition, nowadays people have switched their lifestyle to a different zone where they are looking for more easy available things. And earlier, if I talk about earlier homes, people have that space, people have that time where they can utilize by doing their own stuff. They can consume their time that way. But nowadays it's totally changed, and that's how the homes and the interiors and all that sorts of things are changed from past to the current one.
Okay.
Okay, so that's done for issue. Now I wanna ask Dave what of his feedback.
First of all, I would like to tell, I'm just like all of them. But I will try my best to practice. Uh, Rishu was great. This is what I can say, and I will advise something. It's all of us for us. And yesterday I was going through a YouTube channel, and it was all about speaking. And nowadays, what we do, even I do that problem. It's problem with me as well. Take a cue card. Someone gives us a 1 minute, and it's a time to make a proper plan. If you want to use some idioms in our cue card, we should write down in a paper, and the vocabulary, whatever we want to use it. The question, the problem over here is, unless there are a few words and we always know all these words, but the fact is, unless or until we don't have it is in front of us, or we don't use it on a regular basis, so at the time of test it doesn't come out. So it's good in cue card if we can utilize this 1 minute properly, rather in making a plan of it and writing all these idioms and all these vocabulary we want to use or we wish to use, right? So if we will use all these papers and 1 minute properly, that will be a good idea. And as Rishu is concerned, she is good. Our answer was thorough, very comprehensive. So congratulations to her.
Thanks, Dave, because I missed something.
Okay, so just some tips for questions that Saumil gave to Rishu, I think 2 times, or if not 3. When you say like, how is the modern home different from the past, something like that. Tips, this is a question that you need to compare. So when you compare, you have to use comparative degree and superlative degree. And what are those? Comparative degree, you can say today houses are more beautiful than the houses in the past or 20 years ago. And then when you say superlative degree, so this is adjective I'm talking about. When you say superlative, I think all of you know already, superlative is most. You use most modern, or most or biggest, or things like that. So when
Can I answer this question if you don't mind? Because when he asked this question and Rishu was replying, so I have some thoughts for this answers if you don't mind.
No, I don't mind. Go ahead.
Yes, if let's say it will be my answer. If I'll compare, old homes with new home, the basic difference in their architecture, because in new homes, when we build new homes, we plan, and planning is very important. We test the ground and test on the reactor scale and the location of it, because the most problems buildings are affecting nowadays, or homes are affecting, are because of the earthquake, and the other one is electric forces which comes from sky. So if we will plan them properly, and we'll check the earth, if it is sometime earth slip down, all these layer breakdowns, and sometime ground it slip down in between. So it is very important to check the earth, especially for the larger buildings. And in ancient time we weren't doing that. That's why they're at the time of earthquake, all these buildings shattered. So this will be my answer for that one. Which is bit
Okay, thank you, Dave. So the question was about architecture, Saumil.
Yes, architecture, design, and equipments.
Okay.
We can speak anything.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, if I would answer this question when it mentions about architecture, it would be hard for me, but I would really try my very best because I don't have much, maybe I don't have a lot of vocabulary for architecture designs. I
In
can
such a way
tell.
that yes, ma'am, let me tell you.
Yes.
In the past, normally people were not aware with the latest designs, so they have to use simple windows only. For example, nowadays, many people are equipped the soundproof windows in their homes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a
These
good idea.
facilities, yes, this facilities was not possible in the past.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's a good, yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking of maybe it's Victoria, kind of Victorian house style or architecture, but it's just hard to
And one
find
more
those
thing,
words.
one more thing is that many British ancient, architectures were not possible to perform in each house in the past. But at present, with the latest machine and tools, it is possible to construct same British architecture in an ordinary home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. So let's move on to the next. We have Lou. Hello, Lou. Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Hi. So you want to be the examinee
Yes.
with Kaifiya? Kaifiya, are you there?
Hello, Assalamualaikum.
Hi, salam.
Good evening.
Yes. So are you ready? You listen to those conversations already. So most likely you get what we are doing here. What's the system? Kaifiya?
Yes. Yes.
Do you have some questions from British Council, Cambridge, IDP, or Makar that you will
Yes,
be the
I have.
examiner? Okay, great. That's really great. Okay, Kaifiya, you pair with Lou, and Lou would be the examinee, and you are the examiner. That be okay? So you're the
Okay.
you're the one asking questions. All right, you can talk about which questions, which part.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Which part do you want to speak right now? Part 1, part 2, or part 3?
I go for part 1.
Part 1? Okay. What's your name?
My full name is Yun Kalu. You can call me Blue.
What do you do?
At the moment, I need a work or study. I've been studying quite hard on IELTS so that I can get the required score and then apply for my college.
Okay. Do you like to read the book?
Reading books? Well,
Yes.
to tell you the truth, I'm not really a big fan of reading. I tend to listen to music whenever I have time on my hands. And, although I do know reading book is a great way to, feed your mind. And I should start building that habit, I guess.
How often do you read?
But
How often do you read?
Well, I don't really read a lot, to be honest, but I would read only when I am asked to read, like, for example, when I'm in school and I would read because of my assignments given by my teacher, and that's when I would read.
Do you have many books at home?
Well, as a matter of fact, I do. I have lots of books, but I don't read them because reading is not really my cup of tea, as I already said.
Okay. In your country, people do enough reading.
Pardon?
In your country's people do enough reading.
Sorry.
In your country's people, I'm talking about in your country's people, like reading the books outline.
My country.
Your country's people.
My kind of people.
Do people in your country like reading books? I think.
Do my people in my country reading? I like reading. Well, as far as I am aware, young people like me, we don't really like reading because, as the advancement of technology has changed a lot at the moment, and so we rather tend to use social media, talking to our friends online, or we rather play computer games rather than read a book.
Okay. What kind of people like reading, and what kind of people don't like reading very much?
Well, I would say, like older generation, like my father, mom, my grandparents, they would read a lot. Like, as a matter of fact, my dad has been reading a book. I don't know. I don't really know what kind of book it is, but I see him read that book every day.
Okay. What type of books children read nowadays?
What type of book?
What types? Yeah, yes.
What type?
Children read. Yes, children read nowadays.
Well, I guess children love to read mangas and comics. As I remember, when I was young, I loved reading comics and mangas.
Okay, last question, Kaifiya.
Okay. Do you think children have lost their interest in stories?
Sorry, could you please just read the...
Do you think children have lost their interest in stories?
In what?
Do you think children have lost their interest in stories?
Right. Well, I would say children, I don't think they have lost their interest in reading or listening to the stories, because to tell you the truth, I've seen my younger little brothers and my little cousins at my home. I think they are really into listening to stories, especially like some anecdotes that are told by my grandmother or their moms. So I think they still have a lot of interest in their listening to stories tales.
Okay, all right, thank you guys. So before I give the table to Dave, I just want to say, Lou, I really love your accent. It's very, it's gorgeous to me. That's really good. All right, Dave.
Yeah, is there anything you would tell me to improve, or is there
yeah, you have like, you used a lot of idioms cup of tea. I really love that. Not my cup of tea. Um, and also signpostings, you use those to tell you the truth and to be honest. And another I think it's collocation, times in my hand.
Yeah.
And then but there was you said something like lots of book, so you know the rules. Lots of, it should be plural when you use the book, but I heard you say book, so it's supposed to be lots of books, but I might be wrong. You can listen to the recording if I'm correct. So, and you said we rather, that was really good. You used that 2 times, but one time you said we rather, and then you said tend to. I'm not sure if that's what I really heard. But like I said, you can listen. So when you say rather, I think that tend there is, I don't think that's necessary, that word. So you could just say we rather go to social media, something like that. So yeah, and also when you were asked about, how do you call, how often do you read, and you said like I don't read a lot, and so I think that answered the how often. But when I answer that kind of question, I always, after saying that, oh, I only read this and that and that, and then after that I would say, as like a conclusion, I would say, so on an average, I read maybe 2 times a week and maybe an hour each time. I use the word average because, sometimes maybe we don't read this week 2 times, maybe 3 times, right? And the next week 2 times or something like that.
In my case, actually, I said I read. Yeah, I do read. I only read when I am given, the assignments by my teacher. Then that's when I read.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on. We have only 2 minutes left. So, sorry.
Yes. I need to, give the floor to others as well.
Oh yeah. It's your turn, Lou, to Kaifiya. It's her first time. I don't know. With Dave, maybe she already joined. Okay, please.
So.
Let me just
which part would you like me to ask you?
Kaifiya?
Part 2.
Part 2, right? Cool. Part 2, yeah.
But it's gonna be cut off, so we can come back, or Dave maybe wants to also to host. So it's either come back with me or with Dave.
So how many minutes left are there?
We have 1 minute and 60 seconds. Sorry.
1 minute and 60 seconds. I think we're just gonna log out and then create a new link, and we come back later.
Mm-hmm. Or just talk to Kaifiya, ask part 1 question for now, just to use up the...
Right.
Okay, sure. You can ask me.
Right. So, are you a student or are you working at the moment?
I have completed my MBA program. Now I am doing job in a multinational company as a HR manager.
Cool. So, do you enjoy your job?
Absolutely. I'm enjoying my job. And in here, it is the best organization in our country. And in here, the working environment is really good. And I love to work in here.
Right. So let's talk about home and house. Okay. So, do you let's talk about
So that's done for that session, and I'm gonna open another session, and hopefully they will come back. And my computer or laptop is very slow. Hmm. So invite others, copy invite. Okay, thank you so much. So much. And maybe I'll also try to. All right, so let me. Okay, I'm gonna join with them and I'll just be here. Yay. Okay, guys. Go, go, go. It's really okay. Please wait, the meeting host will let you in. Okay, please let me in. Perfect. And then I'll have my coffee. Yay.
Jokes.
No, you get me? Yeah, are you good
Sorry.
at telling jokes?
Actually, I'm not understanding. Can you please, anyone help me? I cannot hear his pronunciation as like that maybe.
Right. So I'm saying, are you good at telling jokes? Like cracking jokes or telling something funny or hilarious to somebody.
Talks. Oh.
Jokes.
Oh.
You know,
Yes,
cracking
yes.
jokes with your friends or family, or are you good at telling something funny?
Well, he's asking for jokes, understand, like when we crack jokes to make fun of someone.
Yes.
I mean, this is what he's trying to
Oh,
ask.
jokes. Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. Actually, I didn't.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I
you
did
can even
that.
ask theory and theory can still do something, you know.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. I really love jokes because it is our butterfly, and every day because I have one baby, and every day I need to talk with my baby in different way. Sometimes I need to speak with her as like the comic words I need to use, and laughing things I need to use her to communicate with her. I want to feel her comfortable with me. So as I am a mother and I have lots of responsibilities. So I think that for maintaining all those things, I really love to their harder jobs.
Right, cool. So let's move on to part two. So part two is about describe a person you are happy to know who this person is. All right, just gonna copy paste this into the chat box. Be easier. Give me a sec. Just bear with me. So describe a person you are happy to know who this person is, how you know him, and what makes you happy being with this person.
Shoki. Shok. Bantay lang tayo.
Okay, your timer is set for 1 minute.
Alright, so you have 1 minute to prepare the question now.
Iyan ko lang labay. Sa video, kaya naghatag pa sila 1 minute to prepare. Hello, among Shuki, oh. Hello, everyone. My name is Shuki. Je m'appelle Shuki. That's in French. Meaning in English, my name is Shuki. Je parle français. Je parle français tout le monde. I speak French. That's what Shuki said. Hello, everybody.
Sorry to cut you off. No.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just speaking.
Well, thank you so much for the cue card. Having good friends in our life is, I think that it's really blessing. I'm an extrovert person, and I can easily meet any one person and make a friend. Here I'd like to talk about a person. I know him, and that person is my best friend, Raz. He is 30 years old. He is as big as Fiddle, and I know him now almost 10 years ago. We studied together, and he's a very generous person, and I really admire this person because he's not just only my best friend. He also do lots of things for our society, and here I'd like to talk one thing in here. He started one organization that name is Saumil. In that organization, he worked for the poor street children and one old homes like that, where they have a anyone to look after that. And in that, actually, when Corona started, when pandemic in our country, and the time everything locked down, that time actually he helped lots of poor people, and he took the responsibilities. And even right now, he also doing voluntary jobs for everyone. And I'm happy that I'm also joined with him, and still I am working with them. And when I saw that if you want a small face, and
Yeah. Thank you very much for your answer, and put your thumbs up. And I think it's time for Rita, the host, to give you feedback.
okay.
Yeah.
Rita is here, so she'll give you the feedback when she see her. Rita, you there? Well, I think you have to unmute yourself if you are trying to see. I mean, you are.
Yes, guys, I'm here. I'm just trying to make some coffee. Sorry.
Okay.
Right.
Go ahead, Dave. I'm just here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. My feedback for you, Kaifiya, I mean, your pronunciation, I mean, sometimes it's very hard to understand. I'm so sorry to say, but it was good. I mean, best thing I like about you is your confidence, and this is do the wonders. I mean, confidence is very much important, and you have it. And your ideas, you construct ideas, which is quite good. But sometimes we miss some words, and which is quite important. I mean, this is area. You use Bengali slangs using speaking English. I mean, this is sometimes we create problems to understand. But rest of the things are good. If you can, there are a few words you. I mean, we didn't get it. I mean, if you can work on that one, that will be very good. And the rest of the things, I mean, yeah, I mean, this is very important because even Liu didn't get it, and I want to tell you one thing. I mean, what happens in speaking? It's not only about speaking. It's all about listening as well. I mean, several times, he repeated, Lou repeated. So if you can, clarify these questions in a first go, I mean, that will be good. So this will be my feedback. Otherwise, you are good, and we are all always here are improving ourselves. I mean, this is what we do, and no one is perfect. And even me and Rita are trying our best to learn. I mean, this is we are here for. So best of luck. I mean, this is what I can say. Up to you, Lou, if you want to give any feedback to.
Right. So I mean, all I want to say is that she was able to talk in length. Yeah. Good. I mean, she was able to talk up to 2 minutes, and that's great for me. Yeah, personally speaking.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
Good job. Good job, everyone. So I just kind of like say it quickly about pronunciation, and this is for all of us, like Dave said already. We all need to improve no matter which level we are. We obviously are not in the same level, but everyone can improve. Still, you can still improve, or we can still improve. So what I suggest about improving, you listen to a native speaker speak and then record that. For example, one sentence, you do it like one at a time. I mean, small words or phrases, one sentence at a time, and then record it, and then you mimic that, the same sentence or phrase, and then record yourself, and then you compare, and then you know which part do you need to improve. Is it your accent? Is it your pronunciation? Is it your intonation? Is it your how do you call, your grammar maybe? I don't know. Or is it the connected speech? Connected speech is like do you, or instead of saying do you say do you, something like that. It's like you don't really say it word for word, do you, but you say do you, something like that. All right, so just an example, and all of us can improve. Okay, doke. So I'll mute myself now.
Right. So thank you so much. And we left with Sweetselle and Nubal Islam, who just joined in. And if you guys can pair each other, that will be good. Mr. Islam, I was speaking with you first time, I guess. I mean, if you can introduce yourself, because I know Sweetselle for a while. So if you can introduce yourself, that would be good to group members. Hello. Sweetselle, you would like to join in with me? I would ask you a question. I think Mr. Islam
Hello.
is not responding at the
hello.
moment. Yes.
Hello, yes, I'm here.
All
Hello,
right. So,
everyone.
Sweetselle, as you know the procedure, what we do in that tournament, I ask you a question and you'll reply all these questions and vice versa. This is how we do it. And now what I'll do, I'll ask you questions and you reply all these questions and we will do the same with me as well. All right. So I'll start with your profession. Do you work or you are a student, Sweetselle?
I'm already working.
All right. And could you describe what kind of work you do, Sweetselle?
Okay. I am teaching elementary grades for 4 years already. I was a substitute teacher during my first year of teaching. And at present, I'm already a regular permanent teacher in public school. As of the moment, face-to-face classes have been put into halt because of the health crisis that we are currently experiencing right now. What I do now is I give classes online and offline. I prepare my lessons in the form of digital and printed. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And what do you like more about your job? What is the most aspect you enjoy most in your job?
Okay. The most interesting about my job is I get to meet pupils from all backgrounds, and it is so much fun to interact with them and also to see their enthusiasm towards learning. Even though we don't have physical classes as of the moment, I can see that each one of my pupils are always get excited to learn.
Thank you. And what are your career plans, let's say, after 10 years, what you would like to? You want to be a teacher or you want to promote yourself and take you to a professional job like this? So what are your plans for next 10 years, please?
Yeah. Well, my plans for the next 10 years is that I'd like, or the job that I'd like to do in 10 years' time is to be a public servant leader. Yeah, because leadership is always in my heart. I'm fond of influencing, leading, and motivating people. This is really my dream, actually. And part of this dream is to create better future for my community and for the people within my community. However, leading is not that easy because of diversities and disparities in terms of goals and beliefs. But as a matter of fact, these are the factors that can really affect leadership. But still, leadership is my ultimate dream.
All right, thank you. Do you play any sports, Sweetselle?
Yes, I play.
And what are the most popular sports in your country, please?
Well, I guess it's basketball and volleyball. Yeah. Because basketball is an entertaining sport for the Filipinos, actually, specifically for the boys or young men. Basketball really suits the life of Filipino teenagers well, and it's easy to learn, but hard for them to master. Well, I think this sport is like a daily routine for many of the young Filipino boys. They play basketball anytime and anywhere, whenever they have chance to play. On the other hand, volleyball is both played by men and women here in my country, but I think it is most played by girls, yeah, than men here.
Thank you.
Okay.
And can sports be the dangerous? I mean, can sports be dangerous?
Okay. Can sports be
dangerous?
Okay. Yeah, I think sports can be dangerous. Wait. Yeah, I think sports can be dangerous because
especially sports that, in my opinion, sports that involve vigorous action. Say, for example, sports that are boxing, basketball, football, and many more. These are the sports that I know that are dangerous. Well, these types of sports are really dangerous because it involves too much physical activities.
All right, thank you. And do men and women play different sports in your country, and what's the reason behind it?
I think yes, sports here in Philippines is really an important part of the country's culture. But Filipinos, yeah, men and women are very active in playing different sports. Both are equally provided with opportunities in playing different sports.
All right, thank you so much for answering my questions. Thank you so much. And it was good. I mean, you are improving, Sweetselle, as I can see. Like the day when I was speaking with you, you were struggling with your ideas, but they are quite thorough now, which is quite good. And you are building your confidence on regular basis. This is good. And Rita is also over here. Let's ask her feedback on your speech. Rita, it's up to you now, please.
Okay, I'm here. I'm still eating a little bit. Sorry. I'll try.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, Sweetselle, I've been listening. Maybe I missed some words from Dave, maybe, or from you. But
Yes.
I commend you for your pronunciation, very clear and very, how do you call, sharp, and it's just very nice to listen to. You know what I mean?
Thank you, ma'am.
Like there are accents or maybe pronunciations that sometimes it's kind of a challenge to listen to, but yours is just very smooth, and the flow, I just love it. Anyway, so, and I'm pretty sure that you are a very good user of English, and yeah, and then, but I wonder if this is your first time, or did you already take a test, or this is gonna be your first time if you have booked, or?
Mom, to be honest, this is my first time. I don't have any materials in IELTS.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I could sense, because you tend to answer part one. You gave long answers, and part one, if you are familiar with IELTS, you know that it's just short answer, yes or no, and then give the reason, and then maybe a little bit of example. But it's like 4 minutes. 4 minutes is already 4 minutes. Sorry, 4 sentences. 4 sentences
Yes.
is already long. But
Yeah,
you can
yes.
still, but you can still, you can still have four sentences. Anyways, yeah, those were hard questions that Dave threw at you. You were mean, Dave. Anyways, but that was good. That was a good practice. This is a practice, so we all learn.
Yes.
Yeah, there were a couple that I wanna say about. But all in all, if I kind of like summarize everything, you really spoke well. But these are some. Maybe I just mentioned one. I missed some. So when you said about currently we're experiencing, I think you were talking about the pandemic.
Yes, ma'am.
But you said in the end right now. So currently is already the right now. So you didn't, it's
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
redundant, actually.
Yes, redundant. Okay, that's good. You know the redundant thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
I
like I
noticed that
said.
earlier, but I keep on repeating it.
Yeah. So I actually recorded it, and then I will post the recording, and you all can really listen to yourself. And it's really a great help for me. That's my experience. It's always a great help when I can listen to myself. So that's why I get this idea of recording.
Well, Rita, you will be surprised, because I know Sweetselle for a while, and you will be surprised the way she write it. I mean, there are few words I have to look at the dictionary. I mean, what does it mean? I mean, she have that kind of vocabulary, and whenever it comes to writing, and I want to see all these words in her speaking as well. I mean, there are few. That's what I have so observed. I mean, people who are good speakers, I don't find them good writer, and it's vice versa. I mean, she is very good with her writing. I mean, right? If I'll grade her writing is very good.
You're talking about Sweetselle writing?
Yeah, her writing is good. I mean, the way she write, like all these.
Oh,
paragraphs,
so
which is
you
quite good. I mean,
you had interaction with her with writing too?
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
this is what I'm.
Yes, yeah, I can tell. It's really, yeah. It's it makes sense because she speaks English well, and her vocabulary is wide, I can tell. So that's good. That's a good comment from you, Dave.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm gonna finish my coffee and a little bit of eating here. It's lunchtime here. I didn't have my breakfast yet, but it's gonna be
Right, you carry on with your breakfast, and Sweetselle, you can ask me question after that. We'll wrap it up, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It's late for you.
I'll try to ask you questions. Okay, so which part would you like me to ask you questions?
Whatever suits you, and I mean, I don't have any problem. I want to practice anything. I mean, doesn't matter, to be honest.
Okay. Okay, so let's start with part 1.
Yes, please.
Okay. Do you work or are you a student?
Well, I am working at the moment, and I work as a software developer, writing coding, and sometimes I do business analyst job as well. So this is what my work is.
Mhm. Okay. And okay. How do you spend your spare time?
Well, I love sports, and whenever I have some spare time, I love to play cricket. I mean, this is what I do, and I love to write things as well. I am writer by heart, so this is what I do when I do have some spare time. But it's very hard to find nowadays spare time. I mean, it's very hard.
Mm. So when you go out, do you usually go alone or with others?
Well, I love to spend time with me. I mean, this is what I can say. You know, most of the time I'm working and I'm with my colleagues, and I don't have time for me. But whenever I go out, I think, and this is time for me. So I would love to go alone, and especially whenever I'm going out for longer trips. So I carry one of my friend as well. So he's good singer, so who used to sing for me, and I'll sing for him. And this is how we spend time for longer vacations, I would say.
Is there a particular time in the week when you prefer to go out?
Well, Saturdays and Sunday, because I'm working at the moment, so it's very hard to go in during week. But I have to wait for the weekend, especially on Saturday.
Do you think it is important to do some regular exercise? Why?
It is very.
Or why not?
Yes, it is very important, especially for someone who is working 24/7. You need some stretching. I mean, because whenever you start walking, there are few body parts which remains locked. So it's very important to do stretching sometimes, some kind of running, and some cardio as well. I mean, this is very much important.
Now, I'd like to ask you to speak for 1 to 2 minutes on a topic. You have 1 minute to think about what you might say. Okay, so describe someone you admire very much, you should say who this person is, what this person does, how long you have known about this person, and explain why you admire this person so much.
Right. Okay. Now I would like to talk about Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, and he is 14th Prime Minister of India. Very energetic personality. Although he's in his 70s, but he's quite energetic because he takes care of himself very well. He's very good speaker. I mean, his words are magical, and whenever he speak in public meetings and all, he has this ability to, you know, uh, what will I'll call, I mean, to make people work harder. And he come from a background. I mean, he come from a poor family. Then he struggle a lot, and he worked so hard to be here and to be a prime minister. And this is second time he elected as a prime minister in India. I know him from last 20 years because at the time he was chief minister of one of our state in India, and he was known for his ethics. He was known for his work, and this particular state elected him as its chief minister for 4 consecutive years. And if we'll talk about development, I mean, this is the state state Gujarat is one of the #1 state in India in wealth and in industries. So this is the person I admire most.
Oh, okay, thank you. So let's move now to part 3. Would you like me to continue?
Yeah.
Okay. What makes a person famous?
Right. It comes with some etiquettes and some, personality. I mean, if you have personality and if you have some, the ethics like loyalty, honesty, because these are rare to find. And if you have these personalities, then you do the wonders. It depends upon the values you carry. It doesn't matter like how good you look, but it is all about like values you carry in yourself.
Okay. And what kinds of people were famous in your grandparents' time?
Well, my grandparents used to love politicians, and they were talking about loads of politicians. And in my grandparents' time, sports were not very much famous because there were no televisions and no, the communication mediums. And they used to heard about all these news through paper media. But they used to admire all these politicians, and British government was ruling India at that time, and whoever were the freedom fighters, they appreciate and they admire all these politicians at the time of my grandparents.
In your opinion, is being well known easy to live with?
Well, I don't think so. It is easy. I mean, especially at the time of media, where whenever you do anything wrong or right, I mean, there are always people who are willing to take you on. I mean, sometimes you have loads of critics. Doesn't matter how good you do to the society, but they are always criticize you. And there are positive and negative criticism, but nowadays, if media is in your opposite, doesn't matter how good you are and how good things you are doing for the society, but they'll always pull you down. It's not easy to live with.
Well, what kinds of people will be famous in the future?
Well, I would say sports person and politicians. I mean, these will be famous in future as well, and Bollywood actors, Hollywood actors, because people, watch them on television every day, and they mimic them. I mean, this is what they are doing, and they want to be like them. And this is what I think. I mean, they will be famous in future too.
Okay. What responsibilities to society do famous people have?
What responsibility do society do famous people have, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, they have loads of responsibilities, and whenever you are, you are doing quite well. It's not all about doing for yourself. It is all about society as well, because people makes you happy. It's not about you. It is all about people who makes you famous. So, and whatever you gives to the society, it comes back to you. So it's all always to do better things for others, and it comes back to you.
Okay. Do you think the children of famous people have an easy time?
Well, I don't think so, because whenever you have, the famous, your father is industrial and he's earning lots of money, because you are insecure, because people sometimes they want to kidnap young kids, and want to ask their parents to for the safety. This happens in India. I mean, so it's not easy. I mean, they're always facing cameras and media. I mean, media is always writing about it. So it's not good for their privacy, because everyone deserves privacy. And to have this reputation of its privacy is impossible.
Okay. Would you like to be famous? Would being famous change you?
Well, I don't think so. I want to be famous, but I want to be happy. I mean, this is what I can say rather than being famous, because I don't think so. Being famous, because there are positive and negative things as well. If I'll do a crime, I mean, media will publish about it, and I will be famous next day. But I don't want to that kind of famous. I don't want to be that kind of famous, to be honest. So I would love to have simple but a lovely life. I mean, this is what I want to live.
Should the media be able to invade the privacy of famous people?
Well, I don't think so, because there are two things. I mean, public image and private image. Everyone deserves, their public life to be exposed, but not the private life. So media should put some restrictions what to publish and what not to publish. I mean, and if I talk about especially the Bollywood and Hollywood actors, I mean, they publish each and everything. And I don't think so, their private lives should be exposed on media. I mean, it's their private, and we should respect their privacy as well.
Okay, thank you, Dave. It's the end of the speaking test.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Rita, should I call it a day?
Yeah, I think so.
We are almost done with this call.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, there is Kaifiya. If she wants to speak one more time, then we can give her a chance if we still have time
Yes.
for the Zoom.
Right. Sweetselle, would you love to ask questions coming Kaifiya?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Or should I ask her questions? What do you think?
Okay, you can ask me.
Right, so Kaifiya, tell me about. So I'll ask you the part 3 questions, and first question will be, you have to talk about the favorite teacher. I mean, who is your favorite teacher, and why you like this teacher a lot?
Well, my favorite teacher name is Islam. He was my college teacher, my accounting teacher actually. Actually, I am in my school life, I was in science background. But in my college, I changed my subject. At the time, I was really faced problem, and that teacher helped me a lot. And only because of him, I passed grade class. Just only because of him, and right now, I have completed my BBA program. Was major in accounting. So I think that only because of him, I I'm staying in here. So that's why I really love this teacher.
Right. So, what are the qualities of a good teacher?
Well, I think in a good teacher, at first need some communication skill with the students and also knowledgeable teacher. I think if one cannot have great knowledge in that specific subject, then it will be hard to teach the students. I think that this and one thing is friendly nature and punctual, and this thing I think that need in every teacher.
Right. Okay. So, can students learn from computers? What is your opinion about it?
Yes, student can learn. Right now, we are studying in science and computer-based world, and I think that student can learn in here through browsing Google and other applications, computer applications. But I think that teacher needs teacher also need in our life because in computer we just gather and gather the knowledge, but computer cannot possible to give our any.
Okay, I think that was it. I didn't even notice that. Okay, that was Harry, but okay, so let me just turn this off now.